We are back today with a similar build to a build we recently did on the channel, also using a 9060 XT 16 gigabyte. That build was utilizing the AM4 platform with a 5800 XT, which is an 8-core 16-thread chip. We had a customer actually purchase that PC on our website, and then they reached out, had some second thoughts, and decided that they want to go AM5, even with the current RAM pricing and all that. So we were able to build them out an AM5 build for the same price using the same GPU. We are going to go with the 7600X3D, which is a 6-core 12-thread chip. On paper, it's going to be about 6 to 8% slower than the 5800 XT, but I'm interested to see how that plays out when it comes to gaming. With the 3D V-cache, we could see very similar results. So you can see the original build video and a link I'll put up here. And if you're interested in a Polar Builds PC, go ahead and go to our website down in the description. You can see what we have available, or you can put in a request to have a custom PC build just for you and featured here on our channel. Without further ado, let's get into the build here. Like I already mentioned, our CPU going in today is the 7600X3D. Nice pop there. And this motherboard that CPU is going into is the Gigabyte B650 Gaming X AX V2. Mouthful of a name. And this is all part of a previously purchased bundle from Micro Center. This is back when you were able to actually upgrade the RAM to a 32 gigabyte kit, so you can no longer get 32 gigabytes with the 7600X3D, but I'm passing that savings along to this customer. And going in for storage is a 1 terabyte Gen 4 SSD, which 1 terabyte is a little bit of a compromise in 2026. Usually I would put 2 terabytes in, but honestly I was able to put OS, put every Discord, every piece of software you would want, and still download like 5 games and only use half of the storage. So you might have to do a little bit more game management, but still a very viable option to save some money right now. With the CPU cooler, we are actually going with the cooler that came with our 5800 XT because we ended up using an AIO for that build. So this is the AMD Stealth Wraith RGB, I think is the name of it. You can actually get this on Amazon for like 20 bucks. But the TDP of the 5800 XT is quite a bit more than the 7600 X3D, so I think this will be more than enough to keep it cool. And then to install it, you just use the stock brackets on the motherboard, leave those on, and then it clamps on each one of those, and then you just flip this tab and it's on. Really easy install. Our case today, we are going with the DARKROCK EC2. This was just a more budget-friendly case I found on Amazon when trying to meet the customer's needs here, but I actually really ended up liking this case overall. It's a full ATX case, but it felt a lot more like an M-ATX case. Had really good cable management in the back, and has really good space for some good airflow. And stock out of the box, it doesn't come with all of your standoffs for the motherboard installed, so here we're getting those installed before we get our motherboard screwed in. So when I put my motherboard in, I made a mistake. There were some cables hanging down here, and I got one of them under there. So something to be on the lookout for, especially when you've built a bunch of these and you get complacent like me. So you'll probably notice when you go to put that screw down, that's when I noticed it wasn't reaching, and just make sure that you're not cutting those cables or anything like that. Get some extra fans installed on the front here, though I don't expect these components to run too hot, but it's never a bad thing to have some extra airflow. Before we move on to anything else, we'll just do our case I/O cable install on our motherboard. PSU going into our build today is the RAIDMAX Cobra Power 750 watt. This is a non-modular design, but pretty cost effective at around $50. With the PSU in, we will go ahead and run our needed cables through. So we have our CPU, our motherboard cable, and our GPU cable. So on this motherboard, it comes with 1.5 8-pin connectors. So you want to take your other cable, you can split it in half. You really don't need to even plug it in, but I like to just in case you ever do any overclocking or anything like that. I also ran the RGB and fan cables for everything right here, and I noticed this cooler actually comes with 2 options for RGB. You can do the RGB pin header or an actual just USB. So I initially did here just the RGB header, and I went back in and changed it to USB because it actually does some pretty cool, they call mirage mode on the fan, where it makes the fan look like it's spinning really slow or faster, and you can tweak all that in their software, but it also kind of has a default mode when you're just using like Signal RGB or something like that. The GPU going in is the XFX Swift RX 9070 XT, the 16 gigabyte variant. Before we cable manage here, we'll do a little test boot and see if everything works. And it looks good. For cable management here, a lot of space in this case. There's a little cutout on the left there with channels where you can run cables. A lot of times cases like this will just have no room. And if you bundle cables too much together, then you don't have room to shut the back panel. And I really liked this case, and it was great to cable manage in. Getting into our testing here, this is Steel Nomad running and just finishing up. And as you can see, we have a score of 3809, shows the average for this same hardware, which actually usually doesn't come out exact like that, but we're right where we need to be. This obviously isn't without any tuning or overclocking or anything like that, so successful build, I would say. Stress testing results, about 35 minutes we're coming up on, and the CPU running at 100% utilization, about 56 watts. We didn't really break over that 60.1 degrees Celsius, so running nice and cool where it needs to be, and the cooler fan overall really not sounding that loud. Then over to our GPU stress test, coming up on that 30-minute mark or so. 58 degrees Celsius at 100% utilization, pulling 182 watts. So staying nice and cool. That stock cooler is doing its job on that GPU, and those front fans bringing in that cool air is probably helping a little bit. Let's see how she games. All games running at 1440p here.
Equipment out. Reloading. Loading new mag. Changing mags.
Hey, if you liked what you saw in this video, please hit the like button. Helps out a lot. And if you want to see more like this, hit that sub, and you'll be notified whenever I post again. And leave a comment down below. What other builds do you want to see? What kind of gameplay, stuff like that, and we'll try to get it done here on the channel for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Send you out here with the rest of this God of War gameplay.
Enemies to your left!
Yeah.